Oh, did you see that? It like went boop. Wow. Right on. Okay. So we got the owl here. This is really beautiful. So the owl energy, first of all, whenever you get an animal energy that is of your like element, that is always very auspicious for the time period of which we are speaking. So air energy for air energy, beautiful. Now the owl is very much about clear seeing, right? Ted Andrews in his Animal Speak book, who's one of the foremost authorities on animal medicine, highly recommend that book if you're keen, says that the sun lives through the owl at night, which is saying that it's not only at nighttime that the owl can see clearly, but it sees just as well in the night as it does during the day, right? So with this, it really speaks of being able to see internally as well as externally. Now, this is very interesting, given that we had the elephant, which is that hermit energy coming up in your meditation. So there's an aspect of the owl that also lends itself to the high priestess energy, which is about intuition, insights, but also it's really seeing through illusions or hidden aspects or things that we may not want to necessarily look at. Again, with that, check the engine light. Now, another aspect of owl energy equates it to the 10 of Cups in the Tarot, which in this context speaks of the happiness that is possible on the other side of seeing things clearly, right? Really lovely. This is very auspicious. Let's see what's going on. See what's going on for Gemini. Right. Cool. So we have the Three of Wands here. This is really, really stunning. So Three of Wands, first of all, the wands are about the actions that we do or don't take, usually around the work that we love to do or around the interpersonal relationships of which we're passionate, right? So it's about action though. The Three of Wands, first of all, we have the moon here. We were just talking about that with the owl, right? The Three of Wands is very much about things moving forward for you as a result of your own actions and intentions, but also people coming in to help you. So this bird here set the foundation with the Two of Wands here, done the work, put in the time, and then another bird comes to help it out and gives it another wand, right? So it's about that help and that aid and that support that you're attracting in as a result of the efforts and the foundation that you've already laid and made. Why do I feel like you're going to be getting some assistance here? But I feel like it could either come as somewhat of a surprise or just in the nick of time. Just in the nick of time. Something about this. I feel like you could be on the verge of making a decision about something or moving into a new chapter or deciding, what do I do now? Because that energy of Walter Mitty on the beach, like, should I pick up the papers and thus commit myself to this suitcase lifestyle? Or should I just let it go and thus commit myself to this beach reality? It's that Two of Swords / Five of Wands tension that I'm picking up on. And that's what this feels like here. It feels like there's going to be a crossroads of sorts or a moment in time where you're like, what do I do now? Okay, which way do I go? Should I move on this? Should I call this? Should I switch this up? And that's when something's going to come in and go, whoop, here you go. Oh, brilliant. Wow, Gemini, hello. Ace of Cups. Okay. Did I not say that Ted Andrews in his Animal Speak book said that the sun lives through the owl at night? Hello. It's interesting here with this Ace of Cups. Traditionally speaking, Ace of Cups is about fertility, abundance, but it's about a lot of intuitive information and also self-care, right? This is really, really interesting. I feel like this sun, there's something about those of you who are watching this, who have your sun specifically in Gemini. I feel like this is very specific to you in this context of the lotus flower that's sitting within this Ace of Cups. So the lotus flower is beautiful, right? But it comes up from the muck and the dirt and the excrement. It's not nice, right? And only when it comes up top can you not see everything that it took, all the dirt and excrement it took to get there, to get to the top. You know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing an image from Shawshank Redemption where Andy Dufresne, if you're not familiar, I'm gonna let you know. It's just the movies are coming through in this reading like a lot for you. Had to, not to give a spoiler alert, but he basically digs his way out of this prison, right? And he has to go through all of this like human excrement, just like so much of it to get to the other side. And when he gets out and he's breathing the night air for like as a free man for the first time in a long time, that's the lotus flower moment. But what he had to do to get there, it took like 20 years of planning and consistent effort to get there. And there's something I feel like is hearkening to something that you've put a lot of effort into or planning into. The tunnel is going to come out on the other side, and there's going to be a transition point around this. It really feels that way. It feels like there's also an aspect of this that says, like, there's an acknowledgement of where you've been, and there's an acknowledgement of this tension within you that goes, well, where am I going? You know, I'm really drawn to these feathers down here too that feel like they were shed. Here, I don't think, it could be a magpie, I'm not quite sure. Anyway, these feathers that were shed here, and then we have the lunar moth here as well. I feel like there are aspects of your reality, your situation, or your inner life, kind of like Walter Mitty in that suitcase with all the papers flying around. There's an aspect of this that says, what are you willing to have end so that something new that you really want can begin? Oh, really? Sometimes it's so on the nose. So you have the death key here, which is about endings and beginnings. We were just talking about that. You have another owl here as well with the death key carrying this poor little mouse. You know what's interesting here is that both of these are about clear seeing. Owls are about clear seeing. We said that, right? But mice are about seeing the details of things and being able to see things from a perspective that nobody else can. So there's a bigger picture and then the finer points of details. But here's what I'm really drawn to. The mouse is in a point of surrender to this owl. The mouse is at end of life here. Thank you for your service, right? Or thank you for your sacrifice, really. The mouse is at end of life with the owl. And I feel like there's something dying away in terms of the finer facts and figures of something. You've already put a lot of that time and work and effort in. And the owl is coming in to say, again, what I just said. What aspects of you and or your circumstances are you willing to let die so that something new can be birthed? That's what this transformative energy is, right? And look at the white feathers I was drawn to say that in the moth, and then look at the white feathers of the owl. It's really, really interesting here. But this does feel like transitions and moves and phases and things, you know, coming to completion points so that something new can begin. But I don't feel like this is without some form of resistance or sadness or loss. And I do feel like the relief may be more palpable, or the excitement over something new may be more palpable than the loss. But at the end of the day, when things end, or when we transition from one state to another, there is an inherent bittersweet, you know, feeling that comes along with that. And again, with that Walter Mitty sitting on the beach, like going, do I really pick up these papers in the briefcase and this commit myself to this, you know, where I was, or do I really let it go and embrace, you know, this sand reality? You know, what's really interesting with that too, what's coming to mind, it's in this deck. I'll show it to you. So what comes to mind with that is there's another aspect of the elephant. I'm going to try to find it in this deck. So it maybe use this deck. That speaks of the elephant in terms of Three of Swords energy, which is very much about heart pain that's directly linked to the past. Elephants are associated with the past because they have very long memories. They're highly intelligent. They mourn their dead, all of that. So I feel like this elephant in the background too for you is very much about what has been. Mourning it if you need to, right? There's something in that. And then allowing yourself to really see it, to release it, right? That's the thing. Like, we can think that we release things and they come back to us in really surprising ways, either when we're triggered or when the cards are down, as I put the deck down. It's really about engaging in a sort of vigilant self-awareness. Is this literally going to be the last card in this deck, though? Maybe you're not meant to see it, but I could have sworn in this deck, maybe it's in this one. There's one of these decks where the Three of Swords is kind of shown with this elephant animal energy attached to it. And I think it's, oh, there's an elephant with Two of Cups. But it's the tusks that are sticking up out of the heart. And again, it's so often heart pain, right? Directly ties us to the past and what has been, right? When you think about mourning, we've mourned what we've lost. We have so much pain that is connected to the past that it affects us, sometimes subconsciously. Sometimes we can be affected by things from a subconscious place and not even really be aware of them. And that's when it's really important for us to assume the hermit position as it was and really engage in some self-awareness so that we're not subconsciously affected by our fears or the past pain or whatever it is. Oh, okay. Hope this was worth the wait. Here we go. 3 of Swords. Here we go. Oh, feather, elephant tusks and feather. I feel like this is an aspect of your reading as well that you're really being asked to be cognizant of so that you can release it. Now, what's really interesting here is in Egyptian lore, when you would die, your heart was placed on one, there was a scale, right? Placed on one side of the scale and a feather on the other. And if your heart was lighter than a feather, then you were able to pass through to the afterlife. But if it was heavier, then not so much. So this speaks of having a light heart as well. And I feel like that's really coming through for you. But I love that it's coming through with that elephant context because, again, it's very gentle, very forgiving, and very patient. I would also say, you know, allowing yourself to be patient within all of these changes that are afoot, because even though they're happy, even though the changes, remember what I said? The change and self-awareness that leads you to a 10 of Cups reality, which is complete emotional fulfillment, happy home and family, peace, rainbows, right? Is in the traditional Rider-Waite tarots. It's like a rainbow with the 10 of Cups. It's also about allowing yourself to mourn what has been, feel that loss, really reflect on where you've been, and really allow yourself to move through these changes in a way that feels like it is actively engaged in your own self-care, right? And going at your own pace and really serving you. That feels incredibly important. There's definitely a change afoot, Gemini, for sure. Let's see what your advice is. Advice for, oh, really? I like it. I like it so much. Page of Wands. This is so brilliant. So first of all, I want to point out, Page of Wands. This is the beginning of this court card suit, right? So this is the youngest energy, which speaks of what? New beginnings, right? Beginner's energy. But why I'm so obsessed with the Page of Wands is because when this comes up, we're being asked to have courage and be brave and take risks. And to come at life and any kind of potential or obstacle or anything at all of the plethora of things that life holds with a attitude of curiosity. See how curious this lizard is, right? Curiosity over judgment, right? And I feel like that's your advice. In regards to your own situation, in regards to the potential of your life, curiosity, not judgment. It's really, really beautiful. And then also having courage and being brave and setting out on these new adventures and these new paths ahead. You got the Death Key, and then your advice is the Page of Wands. Mourn those endings, let them be where they are, and then really commit to this Page of Wands. I feel like the equivalent of this would have been Walter Mitty on the seaside, letting those papers go and letting that suitcase just fly out to sea. Right? Let it go. Really embrace the new. I like that we have the desert landscape there as well. Really beautiful. Let's go ahead and get an oracle. Feeling like the earth magic. Let's see what's going on. You know, another aspect of the Page of Wands would be curiosity over judgment. This can be very simple in terms of, you know, you could have an idea for something or have a job opportunity or have, you know, whatever it is. And instead of thinking your way out of something and going, oh, well, that wouldn't work because of this. Oh, but what if I did this? What happened to this? Right? Instead of that, being curious, because that can be judgment as well. Thinking your way out of something or cutting something off before it even begins can be judgment as well. Judgment that things are going to go how they've gone before. Judgment because the past is influencing you. Judgment because you feel like you don't deserve anything else than for things to be difficult to be worth it, whatever that is. But curiosity might look like, okay, well, here's a potential here. What might that look like? And then from that, well, if it did look like that, how might that feel? And if it felt like that, then what might happen from there, right? Curiosity is the breeding ground for solutions. And that's the point. Curiosity is the breeding ground for solutions. Let's get an oracle. Oh my God, stop and repeat. Rainbow blessings. Did I not just talk about the rainbow that is on the 10 of Cups and the Tarot? Did I not though? Rainbow blessings is very much what it sounds like. It's a beautiful time. This also comes what? After the storm. So this is really saying like, allow what needs to end and really embrace the potential of everything that could be that is yours. Right? There's also, I'm hearing, Brene Brown talks about this, and I don't think I'm going to be able to quote it directly, but she basically talks about in the moment of greatest joy, we in the same moment, kind of cut it off at the heel and damper it with fear. Oh my God, I'm so happy. This can't last. What's going to happen that's going to be awful, right? Because with everything good, something bad comes. Or, oh my God, I'm so happy. And then I have this visual of like the person I love the most, like dying a grisly death because I'm so happy. It's like the joy capturer where it just keeps you from truly feeling the full capacity of joy because you want to save yourself from that potential, that very scary potential that one day or in whatever situation that joy may go away or be met with some sort of sorrow or loss. Look it up if you feel keen, but Brene Brown talks about this in her book, Daring Greatly. And I think that's an aspect of the Page of Wands as well, the Daring Greatly, but rainbow blessings. This is a beautiful time for you. It's a really, really beautiful time for you. Again, letting go of what wants to end, really embracing these changes through the lens of self-care. You have some really good love around you too, by the way. When the Ace of Cups comes up, it's not just about self-love. It's about having the kind of love that is so abundant that that can't fit in a single cup, right? It's really beautiful. And then you have the rainbow and the 10 of Cups here. It's really, really stunning. So Gemini, lastly, I'm just getting a message to really be kind to yourself. Really be kind to yourself in your thoughts, in your deeds, your actions, your words, your everything, your self-care. Really be kind to yourself and really treat yourself as you would a child that you love very much that is going through a time of change and maybe needs some encouragement to really know that they deserve to live the kind of life that, they could only dream of up until this point, whether it's like flying in the sky and landing on a beach somewhere and getting rid of the suitcase or entering into a new line of work or entering into a new time of life where things are going to look different for the better, but different, right? But this is really beautiful, Gemini. I'm sending you so much love for the second half of July. I so hope that this helps and resonates. If so, please do let me know in the comments below because I love reading your comments. Please like, share, and subscribe. I would so appreciate that. And with that being said, just thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And most of all, and as always, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.